basically their mainstay or their main home is in the Dragon Lane. So you hand them over the Ziggs, the Zoe, and it's not going to be really that big of an adjustment, right? Now we look into the bans here by KT.RY. They're targeting away the supports that might just throw off their composition, targeting down the Rakan, possibly Alistar as well, just to make sure that there won't be any follow-up initiation onto the side of OMG, because they have taken away the Galio as well, right? Warren is also a possible pickup for OMG. I'm just not 100% sure as to how effective that is going to be, because if you want, snappy engages, you want Alistar, right? You want not the Ornn, because Ornn, yeah, sure, you have the basically the knockup. It has been bad as well. Perfect. On the side of OMG, which means that Alistar is mainly the option here for OMG.
Absolutely. Either the Alistar or the Nautilus, right? And Zoe's also on the side of KT.RY. If they want to catch him off guard and allow OMG to just run over the members of KT.RY, that can be a great setup for them. Kha'Zix being hovered is, I would say, risky, but also having high potential, so understandable. But again, OMG will not stop engaging on them. Nobody is gonna be isolated. Everybody will be charging in KT.RY. So I hope Do is ready for that.
I think one of the ways to make sure that they won't be grouped as 5 is by maximizing the potential of the Zoe. Because again, if you group as 5, chances are that Sleepy Trouble Bubble will hit one way or another, right? Unlike if you're scattered, and that is what KT.RY is planning here. Okay, so they're going to spread out, making sure that the pokes coming from the Zoe won't be as effective. That's where you come in as a Kha'Zix. Now, this will definitely be a very interesting pick. It's not often that we see the set, but it's played in support role every once in a while. I remember Nomel, one of the original supports for KT.RY, to really prefer this champion to be played in the support, and there you go. The Ezreal for Acrobat.
We see Acrobat picking one of his favorite champions, the Ezreal, for the second time here in Season 2. And I can't wait to see how he's going to be matching upon you right here, especially with the set support. This is going to be a great tool for OMG. Definitely just go in towards KT.RY. We see an interesting approval rating here. KT.RY actually has more approval rating than I anticipated it to be, since OMG, right, normally is gonna be the one support at least 80%, 90%. I do see it just a little over 60.
Yeah, definitely not something that we expected, but it's them also being true that OMG is not their strongest team at the moment. Had it been that it was another team, surely that would have tilted over to the side of the CN team. But yeah, that's definitely a very good sign that some of the CN fan base also believes that KT.RY is a very formidable opponent. And again, we're looking at this potential matchup as an APAC versus CN. Not the best record for APAC against CN teams, but when when opportunity such as this presents by themselves, you kind of have to grab it, and you kind of have to use this as a way to at least win one game, or maybe a series against the CN teams.
I mean, KT.RY was one of the top APAC team performance last season as well, right? So definitely they have already a great foundation in their name. Just trying to transition it towards Season 2 with a couple of changes in their roster and in their performance as well. OMG, knowing that we do have that kind of, the support rating on the viewers, and also how they kind of like get a read on OMG versus KT.RY right now. This is a big responsibility of OMG right now to just deny that and prove that they are actually one of the top CN teams in this tournament right now. SMK having a bit of trouble in the mid lane, but does have some sustain, so we would be fine here against two.
That's the power of the second skill of the Zoe, right? You pick up a free summoner spell, and that will be used primarily for tempo and for laning purposes. And we looked at the Mastery and the Keystone that was utilized here and that was chosen by all the members. I saw that Acrobat went for Kraken Slayer instead of going for First Strike, which is kind of different from what we are accustomed in seeing, you know, in League of Legends PC. Oftentimes, it's, you know, the First Strike that you will be needing in your Ezreal, but Acrobat is definitely feeling that, you know, he needs that extra burst that is available to the Kraken Slayer.
Especially against so many frontline members of OMG, right? You would really need to step up. At least to buy some time or give an opportunity to Ratel to just focus on scaling up, and then Ratel can take over later on.
Love to see this.
It does take so much time for the Gwen to actually deal damage and also resist the damage of the enemy team. Right now it's doing actually really well, but has no mana. Needs to be careful. Though he's here though, it's gonna be fine.
Yeah, but this has to be the way Ratel has been performing in scrims, right? Like, he's so aggressive, he will push you to your limit. And this is mainly the reason why all the Filipino teams that I have talked to, they say that Ratel is so strong on the top side, mainly because on the laning, on his laning skills. I mean, you saw him push the wave by himself. You saw him, you know, deny some minions here and there as well. You look at Luna, all in.
SMK and actually be in trouble. Paddle Star is there. Has the minion to actually block it. Luna going a bit risky right there as well. Inya's gonna be in the vicinity. No ward placed by the enemy team on the position they are in. Inyan actually goes in with the World Ender. CP Trouble Bubble did not connect. Inyan nearly got him, but SMK instead will be first blood here by Do, and proper timing by KT.
What a way to maximize the mobility of the Zoe. Luna avoiding the first blood and in return gifting the first blood over to Do. They read this perfectly, right? Like Do just waiting to pounce for that perfect moment, and there was basically no chance for SMK to outplay that one, especially knowing that the flash was already burnt prior to that engage. And that's a very good first blood for the jungler of KT.RY. Definitely a very good sign if you're a fan of the APAC team.
Absolutely. Ratel as well is having a great time in the bottom lane right now against White, especially with this matchup. So now so many problems are arising here to OMG right now. What do you do in the top lane? What do you do in the mid lane? Inyan as well has to scale up and get resources into jungle.
What?
And right now he has to help out top. Do's gonna get spotted out, I believe, here. At least in the ward.
Okay.
Inyan checking out, at least trying to time his engage, but the ward is spotted. Do is ready as well.
Oh, sure. Okay, I respect Inyan trying to path towards the top side and trying to at least help out his Baron laner. And with the Exec Ultimatum, that should at least allow Inyan to deal massive damage onto Ratel. But tell you what, had it been that it was a 2v2 with Do being present, oh, that will be very problematic, because we know that at this stage in the game, especially with the first blood heading over to Do on that Kha'Zix, they should have the advantage in a 2v2 scenario.
Especially in a 1v1. He almost actually got solo killed there by Do. Just in looking at that instant, he cannot be putting himself in harm's way at least that much in the early game wherein he doesn't have that much sustain and durability just yet. Next thing I'm going to be used here on Ratel. Fight Cat just trying to control the lane, but how can you do that against this Gwen from Ratel? Just too good.
And you look at the pathing of Do right now, he just has recognized that Whitecut does not have the ultimate available anymore. However, Ratel does not have any minions to work with, which means that Do might just get collapsed on here by the members of OMG. Looks like that they will not over pursue and will most likely just prioritize one of the objectives that is available in the game.
But this gives so many opportunities right now for KT.RY. Since OMG's jungler Inyan is on the top side, they have to really commit onto this, because they're gonna be late if they start on the dragon right now. Wawa actually nearly got caught right there, but right now they're trying to go towards Ratel, chasing him down. Inyan actually commits, lands the knockup, but won't be able to get the kill. And now KT.RY just repositioning, not really giving attention towards the RHS yet, focusing on the priority in the mid lane, going back to the lane.
The value of Ghost was just tremendous to the side of Ratel, because had it been that that Ghost wasn't there, that would have been an easy assassination, and Wawa will definitely be assassinated here. KT.RY gets the upper hand numbers wise. and should feel pretty confident in this objective takedown.
It doesn't matter if you're using a set with a Haymaker, you will get bursted out now in the Dragon Pit. At least the Dragon will be taken here by OMG, right, KT2? And you nearly get blown apart there by KT. Needs to be a lot more careful in these team fights.
But you look at the tempo advantage that KT.RY was able to get off of that 1 kill against WoW. Yeah, sure, the Dragon went over to the side of OMG, but in return, even the blue buff was taken by Daw for himself. This is one of the reason why, you know, you still have to respect KT.RY. Because when it comes to being able to recognize where to attack, that's where they're good at. I also think that Daw is one of the best counter junglers that we have in the game, in the league right now. And oftentimes, you know, when given the opportunity to play the Kha'Zix in where he can just get camps in 1, maybe 2 seconds, it's just a pleasure to watch every time that he goes for those flashy plays.
Flashy plays towards Acrobat this time, as the jump even committed here by you. But Acrobat survives! That is absolutely insane here for KT.RY, and they do get the punish. The set got taken down. Wawa no longer laughing. Tristana no longer jumping. Daw getting a second kill as well. This is disastrous for OMG.
That's already 4,000 gold. Check that. That's 4,500 gold in favor of KT.RY. 7 minutes and 30 in. We look at that replay once again. Acrobat got comboed by a whole lot, but you look at the value of the hero's entrance, resistances, magic shield, passive coming in from 0, and that's what was needed to again let Acrobat live for another day. It was a gank that was basically returned by KT.RY.
And they got ganked instead, especially after that hero's entrance. Daw as well just committing for the follow-up. They got those 2 kills. No kills at all just yet here for OMG. The tower is already being chipped away in the bottom lane. Acrobat is not scared at all against SMK.
Especially with his health total. That's already less than half health. So if he even overextends, enough burst will be available to the Ezreal that does have the Kraken Slayer to really just surprise his opponents. And you look at Acrobat right now, he's really trying his hardest to take down the tower in the bot lane. But it does look like that on the top lane, you know, the same objective was secured by Rattel. You look at the gold chart here on the left-hand side. Daw!
8k.
Wow, okay. This is KT.RY in a nutshell, right? You give Daw one of his signature champions and he can make wonders on it.
Absolutely. And even later on in the objective taking part, OMG, yeah, they have really good team fighting prowess, especially with their composition right now. But what can you do with Daw is the question here for them, because Daw has been really good at stealing objectives as well. He has done it so many times, just recently in their previous fights as well, or the previous matches. Right now, they will be caught, but not at all phased. They do get the tower in the bottom lane and unlocking more in this map pressure.
And you see, Daw, his goal there wasn't really to gank and to kill down the opponents. He was there to assist his Dragon Lane take down another tower, ballooning this goal lead even further. And also, if there was an opportunity to steal another camp, Daw would most likely just be doing it once again. How many camps has he stolen this game? I reckon it's already at around 2 or 3, and that's the value of the Kha'Zix. Whenever the map opens up to the Kha'Zix, it's so easy for him to counter jungle.
And just denying more and more resources towards OMG right now. Right, Inyan is definitely struggling to scale up. Right now, they're grouping up top side. They're just so confident that they can just do anything.
Another steal.
Follow up. Oh,
and also you look at
another one.
This is going to be a rinse and repeat thing, ongoing for Daw. He will go to jungle camps that Inyan wants to secure for himself, and he will most likely just, rob that away from him. You look at the Aatrox right now, very poor compared to Zero, and this is what happens, right? Sorry, not Zero, compared to Daw. And this is what happens. Now Daw has every bit of time to secure this Ocean Dragon, although... Okay, never mind.
You cannot outsmite though.
Nope.
Just too good.
And also the execute damage, right? Like,
Whoa! Kobe slamming it down right into the face there. SMK, that is why it's so hard to use Vladimir against a Zoe, because that can just exactly happen.
Yep. The health total of the Vladimir revolves around being able to use all the sustain, all the light steal. But if you are not allowed to do so with all the bursts coming in from Zoe and also the range advantage, basically your whole kit is negated. And so now KT.RY just being methodical with their approach. No objective to work with, not a problem. We will be going into your own jungle, take away resources and chip in some tower damage here and there as well.
8,000 gold lead. KT.RY, they're just waiting for the last dragon, possibly even the Baron right now.
Yeah.
With all the amount of gold that they have secured already. 3 items for Do. That is deadly. No amount of sustain will be possible here for OMG at all. Even if they try to extend a team fight, it's not gonna last that long.
And you also see like 2 items already completed for Acrobat, right? Transformed his mana item, also does have the Trinity Force for extra burst potential, and we have to remember that he went for, again, the Kraken Slayer, additional damage here and there for the Ezreal. And there's a reason why I believe that he's one of the best Ezreal players that we have in APAC. Maybe the best Ezreal in Korea, just because of how effective he is on the champion. Ratel though,
chasing down SMK. And SMK definitely struggling right now. Nearly got an outplay there onto Ratel, but it's not going to be allowed at all, especially with Do in the vicinity. Now without the Vladimir, how do they go on this team fight? OMG is just getting dominated at this point.
It looked super close, but you look at the summoners by Ratel, the barrier was their extra calculation, or basically calculated by Ratel, and Wawan, Protobel being prioritized, no stasis to save himself. That's another member down to the side of OMG.
No HP at all to return the damage to KT.RY. Now this is gonna be a free Baron for them. It has been a clean game.
Yep.
So far, a perfect game. The only thing that they have lost so far is just one dragon that they exchanged for the R8. But everything else has been taken, stolen by KT.
It's really so surprising how clean and crisp KT.RY is to start this series. And you look at this engage once again coming from KT.RY. Wawa does not have any reason to be there. Yeah, sure, you might be tanky, but compared to the members of KT.RY and with the advantage that they were able to get 13 minutes into the game, it's so hard to survive all those all-ins. And with this Baron buff joining KT.RY, a 1-3-1 will commence and will most likely open up the base of OMG even further.
Yeah, they're basically just toying at them at this point. Oh, almost. True shot barrage! The flash Mayu, the trauma is there from KT.RY right now, as OMG is just trying to flee desperately, trying to stay alive. The only thing they want to do is stay alive and farm, but they're not even allowed to do so at this point.
At least the tower is being taken by White Cat on the top side. No perfect towers to the side of KT.RY, but the push continues, and KT.RY 5-man strong, going to open up the mid lane, and the bot lane will surely follow.
Let's see if OMG can still fight, because right now it's looking like a one-sided beatdown still by KT.RY. Battlestar not be casted anymore there. Let's beat Luna. And the OMG gets to live another day. That's the only thing they have.
Massive victory for KT.RY, making sure that the Baron buff will be used to its last second. And so now KT.RY with just one inhibitor tower on the top side to really push down. They can just go for another objective, which is basically the dragon here, and continue their pressure. I wonder what they will be planning to do in the next few minutes, because there's no Baron to really take down. Are they going to finish this game without a Baron buff? That is possible, but it's not easy to do so. So we'll see.
Let's see if the gold lead and the 2 dragon stats that they have acquired will be enough to allow them to run it down mid, or maybe at least open up top side as well, so that OMG won't have any chance to leave their base. And that is a great plan.
I think the safer plan for sure for KT.RY is to still continue to box them out off their own jungle and wait for the Baron to spawn up. It will spawn up in a couple of seconds or in a minute or so, and that's where the value of KT.RY will kick in. We'll see though.
Trouble bubble into zeros, engaged. Even though following up through the barrage will connect as well. You trying to jump away, but will be not allowed to remain alive. Dodge well, just jumping in. White Cat surviving 1 HP.
No.
Can they go the reset? No, it's not gonna be allowed. Indian is really going wild. Actually goes in even with a flash. I think that's a big mistake. Stasis to buy some time, but will not be allowed to escape by Rattel. At least Acrobat there. The backline though being breached by SMK. That is bad news as the double kill, triple kill secured there by SMK. And KT.RY has maybe screwed up once, but this is big time for OMG. Rattel though cannot be denied. Face breaker gets broken face instead onto the set. Indian the only one remaining alive here, at least on a 1v1 against Rattel. Doesn't have mana. It should be taken away unless the honeypot actually allows him to. Never mind. Indian picks up the kill. OMG is still alive.
I saw the value of the Gwen just proccing the Conqueror and being able to outplay all the members, almost all the members of OMG. However, KT.RY will have to surrender the next few minutes because it does look like that OMG will secure a big objective here with the Baron being secured for themselves. Let's look at that play once again. Zero and Daw starting it off, and I thought for a second that that would have been the play to really open up and end the game, but Daw overextended, was overconfident, over-pursued, and there to punish was Inyon and company. You look at the damage by SMK here. Stasis being used by Zoe. I don't think that this is the perfect time to use the Stasis if you are Acrobat, because most of the damage was already dealt by SMK. Acrobat could have just played that a little bit better, but again, just looking at that outplay coming in from Rattel. With the Conqueror procs available, again, the amount of sustain that is available to the Gwen is just so absurd.
Yeah, it's a massive outplay actually that SMK did right there, denying 3 members and even killing them on the side of KT.RY. Now, is the chance for OMG to prove that again through the Elder Dragon. The Wawa is already low, has to go back into the base, or just stay. Does have the Warmorg and can heal himself back to full health. Does take some time. Well, Indian, the vicinity, White Cat as well, starting the Elder.
Now they're planning to go for a split push here because they're sending over their Zoe to the top side, which is very interesting because you look at this play, it does appear that OMG is very decided to take down this Elder Dragon.
They will try. Zoe is in the vicinity, will try to steal it up. White Cat getting taunted a little bit right there. But we see SMK actually dealing the damage onto the back, but has to flash away already and run away. White Cat getting a kill. That might be problematic here right now for KT.RY. It's outplayed right there. The dragon has been knocked out. What are you doing? And then picks it up for the team. And right now gives them a proper chance for this team fight right now. Unless Doc can actually go with the reset. Rattel is popping off. Gets a zip done. Elder Dragon popping it off though from SMK. KT.RY having numbers advantage would be happy with this. At the very least, not being outplayed anymore by OMG.
OMG still has one Elder buff available to themselves, and that is the Vladimir. And we all know that the Vladimir is definitely one of the damage carries that they have in the game. It does look like that Daw and company will have to make sure that they have to be extra careful, especially against this Vladimir that does have the Elder buff, can execute them one by one. Inhibitor taken already here in the mid lane. Daw trying to assassinate SMK. Yeah, they are pretty much respecting the damage coming from SMK, and I believe that that's the right idea.
Great idea. Just to respect, yes, the inhibitor is still up there, but it's better than getting killed once again here by SMK because it's starting to be so scary right now.
Yeah, I just want to go back to what happened there. First off, a very questionable stasis coming in from the Kazakhs, or coming in from Daw, just made it so that OMG will have the advantage in the Elder Dragon team fight. He went to use the leap with a combo of his S1 and was able to assassinate one target using his Void Spec, but he was nowhere to be found inside the pit. That was the opportunity needed by OMG to secure the Elder Dragon for themselves. Inyan with the smite and SMK on that Vladimir That's where Vladimir shines, right? Long, drawn-out team fights.
And right now, they're channeling every bit of their willpower to actually start this Baron up and deny it from KT.RY as well. Maybe utilize the buff of this to actually have the damage later on in the team fight. But both are coming in. Suicide Barrage also going to be invested here by Acrobat. Whitecat has a great flank, possibly towards the backline, but Luna spotting him out. They'll just force him to back away this time.
And KT.RY will still continue to use the advantage that they were able to get in the first few minutes of this game. But you look at the goal lead. It's 0. What happened? KT.RY though trying to make a play onto the jungler for OMG, but with the World Ender, enough mobility was allowed Inian to still be A-okay, to still be safe. He still has the Guardian Angel, so if he even gets popped here, he still has an extra life. And you look at the value of this set, just absorbing damage, and with the Warmog's armor, it just allows Wawa to make plays.
Technical Ultimate going to be used by Whitecat, a little bit questionable, but it does force out the hero's entrance from there. I think that's going to be great. Showstopper going to be used. This is a massive set, but KT.RY is still intact, forcing them to actually disengage.
Sleepy Trouble Bubble.
The A-pop. It is going to be big! And they got the Tristana, used all the down, but SMK going to be flashing in, trying to deal the damage.
Okay.
KT.RY gets denied by Acrobat! And now's the time for KT.RY to just run it down. It's only Inian remaining alive. The G has been popped by the other member, but Whitecat will not be allowed to survive. And KT.RY, after
1v5.
lose some
1v5
time in the team fight, this is not the time for Inian to actually go with an outplay. He gets denied instead. And KT.RY will not be denied in game number 1.
Nice try. Almost. But definitely the massive lead that was gifted over to KT.RY did not allow OMG